Parked right here at 666 on your FM radio tuning apparatus. The Bone Metal Zone. Oh, you gonna burn, Squiggy. You gonna burn. Metal Zone.
So with Iron Maiden being so active in the last year to 2 years, well, really kind of a lot, actually. You guys went straight from the last studio album into the Somewhere Back in Time tour, and now you've got the movie coming out. How do you guys have time to do all the golf and the plane flying and the fencing and all the hobbies that you have?
Well, you know, we kind of scheduled this last leg for us to be able to have a bit of leisure time in between. It wasn't as brutal, this last leg, as it was the first one was. Mm-hmm. So,
are you getting tea times in between sound check?
I beg your pardon?
Are you getting tea times in before sound check?
No. I have played day of show. I'll go out like 8 o'clock in the morning, do a round of golf, then get back and have like a bit of a siesta, because I'm getting a little bit old now. You know, I'm 40 something. Hey, what?
I won't make you say it.
No, I'm actually 57 this year, so these old bones need a bit of a little nap, or just to relax myself before the show, because you got to get yourself psyched up, and I get there and hear the kids going crazy, and that's enough for me. But I don't want to be tired. I want to give the best performance.
Mm-hmm.
Kids come up and they pay their money to come in and see the band, and you can't let them down.
Right.
So I don't want anything, and none of us would do anything to jeopardize those 2 hours that we're on stage. That's the most important thing for us. But I remember we were sitting in Anchorage getting the aeroplane refueled, and while we were doing the refueling, we had to go through U.S. immigration and customs. And so we were sitting waiting to get back on the plane after we went through immigration. And, I mean, myself and Davey, we were like zombies. Mm-hmm. I sat there and I looked at Dave. I said, I tell you what, I think we arrived in Anchorage at something like 2 in the morning. Something ridiculous, at early time. And then we had to fly from there to L.A. And we arrived in L.A., I think, about 9:30. The same day that we left Tokyo.
Oh, right.
It was bizarre.
International Dateline will get you every time.
Well, I looked at Davey, and Rod was sitting right opposite me, and Davey's sitting next to me, and I've gone, I can't do this anymore. He said, what? I said, this journey is just, it's perpetual jet lag. I said, my body's going, Nick, you've got to stop, And I looked over at Rod, and I said, Rod, I can't do this anymore. Oh, what do you bloody mean? He said in his Yorkshire accent. I said, I'm telling you, I'm not doing this. I'm not going on tour like this ever again. I can't. My body is it's rebelling against me. I mean, my mind's willing, but my body's going, you got to take it easy.
Uh-huh.
I can't sit on that plane for another 5 hours, 6 hours. It's gonna make me. I can't take it.
Oh.
Oh, bloody hell! He said, no. He said, we've got to bloody do this again next year. And I said, you are having a laugh. Anyway.
No sympathy from them, eh?
What we'll do is, he said, we'll make it more comfortable for you. And I said, oh, how are you going to do that? He said, we'll make sure we got a clear day, the day we arrive, a clear day off, and the show. I said, well, that makes more sense, Rod. I said, I think I could probably deal with that. And that's how this last leg was scheduled. But that first leg, honestly, Anne, it was sorry, Nikki, it was Anne was the last girl I was talking to.
Oh,
I'm
gotcha.
sorry, darling. She was, it was
your girls
brutal.
Mixed up.
It was brutal. But, we find, on the days off, Davey and I go out, or our security guy, he likes to play golf, and Dave Pattenden, who works the video cameras that are there for the screens at the shows. Davey Pattenden coordinates between us, the band, and the guy that sort of works all the knobs and stuff, like camera number 4 right now. That's what he's trying to direct it. Love him. And he's a very key part of our team. So he goes out. But I've got to tell you this, Nick, he suffers with Tourette's when he plays golf.
So there wasn't a lot of filming out on the course.
Yeah, Dave Pattenden wasn't there, thank goodness, because you wouldn't have been able to understand a word, because it would have been, I can't when you watch Jerry Springer, right, and they get into the argument, you haven't got a clue what they're saying. Even trying to guess what they're saying, you just haven't a clue. It was as bad as that when he hits a bad shot, which is every time he hits a golf ball. It's really funny. I just love him to come out and play because I just can't stop laughing at him.
Did any of the golfing make it into the Flight 666, or is it all strictly tour?
No. There's Davey and I are out on I forget the name of the course now. Sunningdale, I think it was called, out in Melbourne. There's quite a bit of footage of Davey and I on that golf course together. And
Nicko, what's your favorite part of the movie? I'm sure you've seen the whole full length, right?
My favourite part. Well, there's a scene of Bruce when we finished the gig in Mumbai. We're in the van in the van coming out after the show, and it's him and his wife Paddy, Adrian and Natalie, Adrian's wife, Rod Smallwood, and they only put 5 beers in the van. For the journey. It was an hour journey from the where we were. Well, they said an hour. It was an Indian hour. It turned out to be about 45 minutes. So everything's an hour. When he asks someone how far, it's an hour.
It's just like that. It's just like that in New York, but they say 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's like down in Brazil. The Brazilian folks, they'll tell you 15 minutes, and it's an hour.
Mm-hmm.
How far the gig? 15 minutes. Yeah, all right, okay. You mean an hour then? No, 15 minutes. All right. Anyway, so they Bruce said, "Got any beers?" And I think Natalie goes into the bar. There's 5 beers for 5 people for an hour journey.
Ooh.
In the van, and Rod gets, you think we could bloody afford it? It's not like we can't afford, more beers in the vans after the first show going up, And he said, I wish I could talk to him about it, but my mouth's too dry. So he starts texting him this, our tour manager, why aren't there any flipping beers on the plane, in the van? But there's this one scene after all the fun and games go down, where you see this kind of fairly full frame shot of Bruce, and he's sitting sideways with his left leg out in the R-way of the little bus, and he just sort of he nods it, his head nods down towards his chest, and then he just shuts his eyes. And there's this, that sort of to me said it all at that time when I saw it, about the strain and the pressure and everything. Like he's got the plane off the ground, he's got all the paperwork done, he's got the dream has been fulfilled. There's the magic carpet. Mm-hmm. There's the 757. We've all got off the ground from Gatwick. We've flown to India. We've arrived safely. We've done our very first show of the Somewhere Back in Time World Tour, Ed Force One tour, and it's just like the whole stress of the whole experience, and the fact that we had a great gig, And he shuts his eyes, and there's just this look, the look. I mean, I think it's more pertinent or poignant to me because I know Bruce, and I've lived with him for 25 years on the road,
Mm-hmm.
And it was my looking at him, and I thought, and I said to Rod, that says it all to me. I said, I don't think people realise how much that says, from that expression on his face, and he's shutting his eyes of how it's like now we're on our way,
That first breath of satisfaction.
Yeah, really, and then that's a magic moment for me, and it's right at the very beginning of the film, and then it gets better from there.
Oh, excellent.
The Bone Metal Zone.